Well, welcome back to the Tennessee Frugal Craftsman. I am digging footers. I don't know whether you can see it. There's an orange line running up through there. This is the back wall. This is the 24-foot side. This is what was going to be more difficult for the excavator to get in to dig because of all of my lumber around here. So I did this back on Saturday. I come in and dug out a 28-inch wide footing so I can set my forms down in here. I know some people just pour into the ground itself. I like to put my at least 2 sideboards up so I can get a nice level footing. Then it's got a couple steps up here. I've got to stay at 12 inches below frost level, so ground level. So I'm down 12 inches. So when I'm leveling across here, I did the same thing over for the barn. When I'm leveling across and the ground starts going up, I step my footers up as long as I'm 12 inches, and so then go again. So this one's about 6 feet, and then I step up again and I go about another 10. So I was over to here this morning. I started late morning, and now I'm working across doing the front of the garage. I'm about halfway done, and so that's the procedure. I'll bring you along for a little bit of it here. It's not a lot to see. Alright, as you can see, it's kind of the process. Fill up my wheelbarrow, take it over there and dump it. This is a 30, roughly got to go about 30 feet on this wall. I've gone a good probably solid 15, half of it. Yeah, I've been at it about 2.5 hours or so, 3 hours. You may be asking, why not use that big machine right over there? Well, that would be the ideal. He's got quite a big bucket is the issue, and he could definitely do these as far as digging it out, but I'm just trying to stay busy. I figured if I could get these footings done and have them all laid out, and that would be one step further, one step closer to getting the walls poured. So what's the holdup? Why don't I have my basement? Well, I spoke to my excavator friends, what was it, yesterday I believe it was. He got held up on another job, and so it looks like it's going to be Wednesday of next week. So we've got about another week to go. So I figured in that week we've got a couple days here on the weekend, Friday, Saturday. We can get these back wall, or this wall, and then the back wall as far as across I can go, and I could actually build the footings right down in there and get everything ready to go. And so that's kind of what I'm up to, or what I'm up against. It's not because I'm a glutton for punishment and just want to dig holes around here, but I don't like to be held up, and I figured whatever I can get done, I can get done. It'd be less for them to actually have to excavate. But I am of the opinion, work smart, not hard, and this is not the smartest thing to do, I know. But I'm only having to dig down 12 inches for the most part. So I'll come back and show you a little bit more of the progress. Like I said, I'm about 15 feet over here. I've come over and made one step up, so I'll be back in a bit. Okay, it's an hour or so later. I have done, come around the corner here. So there's one level coming over about 8 feet or so. Then it steps up. Then it goes about another 8 feet. And it steps up. And I've just started, gone about 3.5 feet or 4 feet on that next level. I've got to go over to within about 3 feet of this line, because that's going to be the over dig for the house, and that's going to go straight down 6 feet or so to the basement. So I've got about 6.5 feet or so left to dig over here, and then this front wall of the garage will be done. And so I'll bring you along in a few minutes when I get over there. Okay, it's the end of the day, and I think I've got this wall now complete. I'll say the last 4 feet here was hard digging, clay and ledge, but I'm within about 3 feet, actually 3 feet into about here. So the bucket should be able to come right in by that and cut down to do the basement. Go down by it. So there's the finished product on this wall. I had 1, 2, 3 steps across it. The ground is laying here quite bad. I probably could have stayed up another 6 inches out of the ground and just filled up around the footings. But the problem was some of this corner right here had been disturbed because there were stumps in here, and in order to get the stumps out, it disturbed the soil here. So I had to go down and stay down about 16, 18 inches deep to get onto firm soil, pretty much across here. So it is what it is. So I've got about 28 feet from this point here over to that point. And tomorrow, Lord willing, I'm going to try to dig this back section. This will be a little bit harder. I'm not sure what I'm going to run into with that stump. I'm coming by that within 8 inches, 6-8 inches of that stump. So I'm guessing there are probably some roots that I'll have to cut off. And I see another couple small stumps out in here. So it is what it is. I'll finish the video tomorrow, but until then, I'll keep you posted as far as how the digging goes tomorrow. So we'll see you then. Well, excuse me, it's the end of the day, and I've got everything cleaned up that had gotten knocked down when we were excavating. These two walls this wall and that wall I'd actually already excavated a while ago. So these are ready for the footers themselves. You can see here, this is what I worked on today. 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. Well, 3 steps, but 4 levels. Jumped up about a foot each time. So it is ready to have some footers formed in here. Now some of you are probably wondering why I don't just put some grade stakes and fill this with a
concrete instead of forming it up, and that is an option. There's no question about that. Some of the issue is with all these steps in it. I know you can put bulkheads, stick them into the sides of the walls and whatnot, but it's not an easy job to do that, and takes a lot more concrete. So I've got the lumber, so I might as well form it up. Might take me a couple days, but what's going to happen here for this last, roughly 3.5 feet over to that wall, close to 4 feet, is going to be framed right into the wall. This wall here off this footer is going to frame right across and have rebar in it, so it's going to be like a lintel. So you won't need the footer there. That way we can do this all in one pour when they get ready to do the walls. It's cheaper actually to have them pour the walls of the garage at the same time as the house, because they won't come back and do one of those small jobs. It's not worth them setting up, so that's why I'm trying to do the garage at the same time. So I'll try to get this video done by doing some of the form work tomorrow or Monday. So anyway, till next time. Well, welcome to 2024. I have now completed the footings. I'll come back tomorrow and put in the rebar. But this was the last wall right here that I had to do. As you can see, this one is probably about 4 feet from the edge of this wall down there, and that one over there is maybe a little closer, 3 feet or so. This had caved in. The plan is to, when they form the walls, form a lintel right across, or just be like a doorway, reinforce it with rebar, and then when everything gets backfill, we'll backfill in underneath of it, but doesn't require footing there. So I'll walk you around what we did. These are basically boxes. I've got an 8-inch deep pour, so you had to have 10 to 12 inches overlap for the rebar to go down in under. And so I've got that and then some. So this will be extra deep here of concrete for reinforcement for the footers. Just come back and look up this one. So I've got 2 steps down there. Now in some cases where it comes out, it may not be 8 inches like that, 6 inches, but by the time you get back to the main ground, it's 8 inches deep. So we've got 8 inches deep there. So these are not all consistent because this is all going to be buried, just a footing. Whenever I felt I needed to step up, that's what I did. Most of them are consistent pretty well as 8 inches though. So I've got these set up, so when I take them apart, take off the end screws, pop those panels off after it's poured, and if you start at the top, you should be able to pull the form and the stakes right out as you go, because I screwed in this way for the most part. So that's the plan. Of course, my friend's got a front end loader. We can always hook onto them, pull them up out. This back wall has actually 3 steps because it was a little bit different elevation, steeper drop off here. So you can look back up that and look back that way. So we're ready for concrete, or at least inspection. That's coming tomorrow. coming from this direction. I'm going to go down and set the pipes. I listened to some of your comments. I'm going to put, I don't think that they'll float in the concrete because the rebar is on top of them, but I do want to set them, you know, basically at an equal elevation. Those three there, there's one over there, one there, and one there. So we don't get an up and down where there can be water laying in this. But again, this is only secondary backup because there will be perimeter drains on the outside. This is just in case something happens, you got groundwater coming in, it would have another means of getting water out of the basement. So when I fill this in and compact it, right around the pipe where it's going, I'll put some crushed gravel all around it for drainage. So I'm not overly concerned about that. So that's my next project this afternoon. I'm going to finish out the afternoon with setting those pipes, getting those into place, and I got to put a little bit of dirt up against some of the forms. I'm really considering on moving forward with a pumper. Been looking at the costs. I had a guy quote me, he'd come in and pump this for around $700, which isn't bad. So we're pretty much there. Next video, I'm not exactly sure whether we're going to get on a pour. Depends on when we can get concrete, because the concrete company shuts down here for 2 weeks right at the end of the year. And so hopefully they'll be back at it tomorrow or Wednesday, and so I'm going to see what the plan is. So anyway, appreciate you joining me. It's been a long video over a number of weeks. I've been working on the garage here, but it's ready to go. And so I hope you have a happy new year, or had a happy new year. And until next time, as always, you have a great day.